Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday, and right now it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan, also on a Friday as well, and they're getting set, and they're closer to the weekend than we are. Hi everybody, my name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're coming to you live directly from New York City. That's where we originate, and we come to you each week at this time. You may be in a different time zone, so look at your clock. Whatever your clock says, that's what time we come on in your area. And we come along and we get together and have a little talk. That's why we call it Talk Back Live. And you can be involved in it as well. Now, for those of you who've been around a long time ago, you already know the protocol. So give me a moment or two while I talk to the people who can possibly be new. And they could be members tonight or this morning or whatever your time zone, right? I start the show as the host, right? I get things going with conversation, and you can add in on the conversation as well. All you have to do is let your fingers do the walking on your keyboard, on your computer, on your telephone, or on your pad or your tablet, right? All you have to do is just type in whatever you want to say. I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will respond to it right away, and we'll get things going. Now, there may be a particular topic that you like to talk about. That's okay with us. We'll just add it into the mix. If maybe you just want to say hello, just say hi. I'll wave to you and just say hi, call your name out. If you respond, I will respond. And that's how we work things going, get things going right there. And for the rest of you, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you already know, for you newcomers, we come from three different places. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on Instagram. So whatever your choice is, please don't hesitate, be with us, and we'll just keep things rolling for you. And tell your family and friends about it too. And here's a way that you can get things started too. If you're watching us, for you newbies who are watching us right now on Facebook, you could take the time and tag all of your friends, maybe not all, just some, I don't know, a few, whatever your choice is. Tag some of your friends, and they'll see that notification, and they'll know it's from you, and they'll click onto the notification, and it'll bring them right here, and they'll see you, they'll see me, and others who may be involved in the show as well. And that's how it works. That's all you have to do. And so do that right now while the show is young, while we're getting things rolling. Tag them right now and bring them all in. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, maybe they'll become full-fledged members just like you. Right? And remember that even if you're new, you're no different from anyone else. You're just as valuable to the show as anyone else. And so we invite you to do that and tell your friends, again, all about it. If you're watching us on YouTube, I always encourage all of you to click on and go to my YouTube channel. When you go to the YouTube channel, if you're there right now, take the time right now to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel is that whenever you subscribe to it, and I'm pretty sure you did it right now, because I saw some of you do it, you've, at this particular point, from here on in, anytime we post as much as a video or we come on live, you'll get notifications if you're online, knowing that sometimes you may forget that we come on at a certain time in your area. And if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, it lets you know right away. You'll see it. It'll pop right up. Click onto it, and it brings you right to your YouTube channel, so you don't have to miss the show. You never have to miss the show that way. And for the rest of you who are watching us on Instagram, please, there's nothing special that you have to do there. All you have to do is just keep following us and keep the word percolating out there to all of your family and friends. Let them know that we're out here, and get them in on the action. Tell them. And of course, if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, maybe they'll become full-fledged members. That's all you have to do. So we thank you so much for being along with us. And we're going to be here, as I said, for the whole entire hour. And, we interact with you. And on top of all of that, what we also do is we have our regular routine that we do here that we want to get out of the way and, let you in on it as well. And that routine is, first of all, we have sports coming up. Sports. We link up with Brian Camp. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll get a chance to meet him and you'll get a chance to see him. He'll be here live with us from his location. And he has the latest developments in today's world of sports. If you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. However, if you're watching us on Instagram, you won't get a chance to see him because we're not set up that way. Instagram, what are you waiting for? Get started with that so they could get the same thing too. However, even though you don't see him, you could hear him and you could still communicate with him as well. So if you have any kind of sports question, anything related to sports, he has the answers. And while he's giving the information on his sports, and you can talk to him just as well. It's just as simple as that. So ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for being with us again here on Talkback Live. And it's always a pleasure to have you aboard with us. Remember that all of the views and the expressions or the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any social media outlet or broadcast facility. So there you go. So we're in the clear. We've got it all done. And we're going to get things rolling, and hopefully that you'll be able to spend the entire hour with us. But if you can't, and I hope that's not the case, and whatever time you can spend with us, we would really appreciate it. It's been a long day today, and I got to tell you, summer is just about over because what's happening right now, we're in the very last day. This is it, the very last day of August. That's it. September is right around the corner. For those of you who are already into Friday, your September had already started, September 1st. And of course, you know what happens September. We got the Labor Day holiday weekend coming up. So we have a long weekend. For those of you who are worrying about going to work, most of you don't have to work on Labor Day. I never really did get that. They call it Labor Day, but you take off. Whatever. Anyway, it's a holiday. It's an official holiday. And those of you who normally get that day off, you'll have that day off. And you can sit back and relax. So we have a long holiday weekend coming up. And everybody is going to use it to the fullest because, after that holiday weekend, I believe if the kids are not back in school now, they will be the following week. So you parents could sing that Christmas song early. It's the most wonderful time of the year, because I know a lot of you are looking forward to your kids going back to school. And some of the kids are looking forward to going back to the school because, they get to see the friends that they haven't seen all summer long. And a lot of them, probably were on vacations and they didn't get a chance to stay in New York City or wherever you are, or Las Vegas or wherever you live, but they get back to see their friends and get back to study because now it's back to brass taxes. You got to get back down there and use that mind of yours, use that head of yours and start working. Stay in school. Don't be a fool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for being along with us. We are going to do all of those things. Also, I must tell you too that we also have okay, there we go. Something, I was talking all of this time to all of you guys, right? And thank you, Brian. You didn't hear a word I said, right? No one heard a word I said except for the people who are watching us on Facebook. Not Facebook, but on Instagram. Those are the only people who heard me. My mic was muted all of that time. Yikes, man. Anyway, I was doing the normal thing. What I was getting ready to say, Brian Camp is coming up. I just mentioned Brian. Brian Camp is coming up, and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on sports stuff. They do have to do all of this over. And I also what I was getting ready to say as well is that I have they have this thing, what we call this day in history. All of this day in history is coming up, right? And that's information that I give you as well. Whatever happened on this day in history, we'll read it out for you. That's all coming up. Also, we have those movies that you guys all like so much. Those movies from Turner Classic, right? Those great classic movies. I have a few of those. I have my picks of the week for your weekend, which is coming up. Now, I know a lot of you do things on the weekend. And of course, I noticed that one of the things that you might want to do is catch up on some old movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my picks of the week and add them to your bucket list of what to watch. I am sorry I had my mic muted all of that time. Thanks a lot, Brian. I'm not thinking today. So now I'm in full thought, and we're all here. Okay. Whatever you missed, you know what you do? You can always go back on Instagram. Instagram will give you that information. And also, I think maybe YouTube might have that information. But go to Instagram after the show and you can catch up on whatever you missed, okay? And again, we're so sorry to have done all of that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, your time right now, we've got it's now 11 minutes past the hour right now. That's what we have right now. And that's what we're looking at. It's 11 minutes past the hour right now. And of course, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we want to make sure we give you all the information. Now, here's some information I have for everyone. And you're not going to miss this one. This is like not really good news, sad news, but legendary TV host Bob Barker, who hosted the famed game show The Price is Right for 35 years, has died this week, right? Barker died at his home last Saturday morning in Los Angeles, California, and he was 99 years old, and he was just a few months shy from his 100th birthday. And Senator Mitch McConnell had another episode. He froze before a gaggle of reporters Wednesday, and once again, raising concern about the 81-year-old Republican leader's health. And at the event Wednesday in Kentucky, he was asked about running for re-election in 2026, and that's when it all happened. And it appeared that he began to answer the question, but then he froze right there for about maybe 7 seconds or so, maybe 20 seconds or so, maybe more. I don't know, maybe less. But he froze for a while and quickly freezing and silence for about that long. And this is the second time in the last 2 months this incident has happened to him. So we're going to be praying for him and putting all politics aside, because this is a human being. And I really do hope he gets better, gets the help that he needs from his doctors. As a matter of fact, it was from all of his people, all of his underlings, released a statement that he is going to see his doctor before the next event, whenever that's going to be. And so if we get any more information about that, we will certainly let you know on what happened or how he's doing. The president said that he was going to try to call him. I don't know if he did as of yet, but we already know that President Biden was also a good friend of, even though they're different parties, sometimes they clash on different issues, but they were friends long before all of this has been going down. They've been friends for many years. And so President Biden said that he's going to try to call him up and see about him. He did the last time as well. And I hope everything is going well. I hope everything will go well. Also, as you already know, we also want to pray for our friends over in Florida and the Carolinas. You also know that they had that tropical storm, Adela. And, I didn't realize how dangerous or how tropical that storm was. I didn't really know didn't know how intense that storm was until last night when I saw all of the images of houses being ripped off, the roof of houses being ripped off, and trees blowing off, and all kinds of things happening. And a lot of people have evacuated and went over to other friends' houses and maybe in other cities or something like that. And I hope by the time they got back, the damage is not that bad. But there was a lot of damage there, and some people survived it. But at this particular time, I didn't hear any real hard casualties, deaths, or anything like that. I haven't heard anything yet. Of course, you already know that every time we hear information, get information like that, we always give you a chance to know that, and we always relay all of that information to you. So let's keep our prayers, our thoughts open for all of our brothers and sisters in Florida and the Carolinas. And I heard that it all went off the shore. I heard it all went off the shore. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Right now, let's take a trip over to Charlotte, North Carolina. And Brian Camp is here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. If it weren't for him, I'd still be going.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I don't know. I just got to mute my mic, unmute it, but here we go. And no one else told me about it. You just did.
Well, that's why I'm here. Not only do I do sports, I guess I oversee a lot of things, Yeah.
How's it going?
Okay, that storm, that hurricane, was it Idalia?
Yeah, Idalia.
Yeah. It didn't really. It just rained a lot of thunderstorms. Didn't really hit us too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I know Charleston early this morning. I looked at the news when I woke up. It was expected 9 feet of rain. 9 feet. I mean, was that 9 inches? They said 9 feet. Now I don't know how true that is. Maybe it is in certain parts of Charleston, South Carolina, but
I know in Florida when they had that water, they showed some of the news anchors were there. They were like water up to their hips.
Yeah.
I would imagine some of those news anchors were wearing those trousers, those long boot trousers that come up to their, come up to their waist.
Right, exactly. And it was really, I don't know how bad Florida was hit or any other the Caribbean islands, but it was a ferocious, but not a long storm, or hurricane, I should say. But we had to suspend some of the after school programs the other day because of the hurricane. But as far as I know, everybody's okay, and hope everybody, whatever damage they lost, that hope that they could be replaced or be repaired, and place and repair, and hope that everything and everybody was okay. So.
Boy, I saw those images last night. I didn't realize how intense that storm was. I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that intense because they showed those images. I mean, you saw roofs being ripped off houses.
Yeah, yeah. I never experienced that. Living in a big city in Brooklyn, New York, all my life, never really had to experience that in the 5 years that I've been down here. Never really had to even experience that. Just heavy rains and ferocious thunder and lightning over the short time I've been here. But imagine just living on and then again, we don't live by the ocean, by the water. We're like further out. We're not inland. But you can imagine those people that have these waterfront homes where their homes are right over the water, wherever they are, they could have severe damage.
We're at the beach in Florida. Is the beach out in Miami, all
beach,
of those, so
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep our fingers crossed for them though, and
yes.
O'Connell as well.
Exactly. But good evening to you and everybody out there that's listening out there on Instagram and YouTube, Facebook and Zoom. I greet you good evening. It is 71 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to lead with something differently in sports. Growing up in the 70s, I was born in the 60s, but growing up in the 70s, I was able to watch the real wrestling, believe it or not. Yes, I used to watch real wrestling. They had these mega stars, but I'm gonna start off with this. We had some sad news in the world of wrestling. Wrestler, my favorite wrestler was Terry Funk. I don't know if some of y'all remember Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Passed away a couple of weeks ago. And the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, got on social media and blasted ESPN for not mentioning Terry Funk. You know, wrestling don't really get a lot of airways in sports nowadays. And I happen to agree with him. You know, we lost a lot of legendary wrestlers, from Bruno Sammartino to, you know, to Soul Man Rocky Johnson. I don't even know if Rocky Johnson is still alive, but a lot of famous wrestlers back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Terry Funk is a former world champion. He used to have these battles, these feuds with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the Briscoe brothers, Jack and Jerry Briscoe. He has a brother that's still alive, his older brother, Dory Funk Jr. But he had these feuds with Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. And I mean, they were heated. But Ric Flair, even though they feuded a lot, he got on social media because they were friends. Believe it or not, when these wrestlers argue and fight with one another, behind the scenes, they are friends.
Yeah.
And they have this here camaraderie where they support one another, you know. And he just leashed out on social media saying that, you know, there should be ashamed of himself, where they don't even announce the passing of Terry Funk. So I want to just bring that out. Terry Funk, one of my favorite wrestlers, passed away a couple of weeks ago. He had complications of a couple of sicknesses and ailments and everything. But you know, I just want to just bring that out.
Everyone that died too was Bray Wyatt. You may not know, he was like one of the news. He wasn't like the legendary wrestler, but being that I know wrestling very well, I know all of these guys. So Bray Wyatt, they did tributes to both of them at the same time on wrestling. So
okay.
And as far as
did they do one? Well, did they do one for Terry Funk too?
Yeah, they did on both of them. They're both,
really?
Well, that's, you know, you can't do one without the other, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. If you get a chance, can you send me that? I don't know how you could, but if you could send me that, I would appreciate that, because I was just, you know, I joined this thing on social media on Facebook, wrestlers from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And, you know, they talk about these superstar Billy Graham and the great managers of the Grand Wizard and Captain Lou Albano and Fred Blassie and you know, these great wrestlers, Andre the Giant. So, you know, that was my childhood. I don't watch wrestling these days. You know, the last time, in fact, the last wrestling match I probably really liked and enjoyed was the days of Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man. You know, so
Randy Savage.
Randy Savage, right? Exactly. So, you know, I missed him in those days. But
Rocky Johnson is dead. His son wrestled too, The Rock.
The Rock, exactly. Yes. Okay. Rocky Johnson did pass away. Okay. Yeah. You know, his nickname was the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you have former football players. Ernie the Big Cat Ladd was one of them, and Chief J Strongbow and Blackjack.
Ernie Ladd, boy, he was, and I think the reason why they call him the Cat, because he had those eyes.
Yeah.
You know, those eyes.
6 foot. He was a big cat too. He was 6'9".
Yeah, he was a big. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's what I want to do. But in sports, couple of news is all basketball. The NBA referee Eric Lewis. Now, I said something about back in May or June about Eric Lewis, who's a referee who's being investigated for going on social media and speaking out against the NBA. Well, he is retiring effectively immediately now. So the league has also ended his investigation into social media activity before the NBA finals, like I just mentioned. So now he deleted tweets, was, you know, were revealed by a pair of then the Twitter users that appeared to show that the referee defended himself and other officials against critiques of their work. So you're not, the rule is you can't go on social media and talk about what they do because there's a conflict of interest in what they do. And the NBA, like I said, opened up an investigation into whether or not he violated the rules by speaking about officiating an unauthorized matter. It was not been determined whether Lewis was using the account, which he used the name of Blair Cutliff. Yes, Cutliff, Cuttiff. Lewis has worked for more than over 1,200 games, counting the regular season and playoffs, and he worked for 19 seasons in the NBA as a referee. So I just wanted to bring up a follow-up because we did this back in May and June about him. Now we, during the investigation, he decided to call it quits. Does this make him guilty? I don't know, but I guess he figured, let me just quit. I don't know, maybe it's so he could spare his family all this here ill feeling, and we don't know what we don't know what was the agreement was, but he decided to retire. Speaking of the NBA, the LA Lakers will unveil a statue of Kobe Bryant on February 8th. The team announced, along with Vanessa Bryant, on Thursday evening. Now, Kobe Bryant's numbers, number 8 and 24 jerseys, was worn during his 20-year career with the Lakers. The statue date also ties Bryant's daughter Gianna into the ceremony, as she wore number 2. If you recall, back in 2020, January of 2020, Kobe and his daughter Gianna, along with 7 others, was killed in a helicopter crash in Casablanca, California. So the Lakers is going to pay tribute, which they was going to build a statue for him anyway, because he's one of the all-time greats. And that's going to happen soon, very soon. So as time get closer, we'll speak more about it. In the NFL, we're just exactly 1 week away from the opening of the NFL season. Yes, Thursday night football, the Detroit Lions will face off against the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. That's exactly a week from tonight. Yes, football is back. And then a couple of days later, Sunday, you're gonna have a whole slew of football games, and of course, Monday Night Football to end week 1. This day in sports, August 31st, 1950, Brooklyn Dodgers, Gil Hodges hits 4 home runs and a single in a game versus the Braves. 1959, Sandy Koufax breaks Dizzy Dean's National League mark of 18 strikeouts in a game. 1990, Major League outfielders Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. becomes the first dad and son to play and hit back-to-back singles, and they both scored. They did this in the same game, the same at-bat, the same inning. In 1997, Don Mattingly, number 23, is retired by the New York Yankees. Birthdays today. 1935, the great Frank Robinson, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, MVP, former MVP of both the American League and the National League. He's the only baseball player to ever achieve that goals by winning MVPs in both leagues. Was born in Beaumont, Texas. 1944, former boxer Ernie Shavers, born in Garland, Alabama. He fought the great Muhammad Ali. And in 1983, Larry Fitzgerald, NFL wide receiver, born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a pretty cool, nice day, sunny day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
It was pretty cool here in New York too, because we walked out. I was better wearing a jacket today. That's how cool it was. It didn't even go as high as, I think the highest it went was like low 70s today.
Wow. Get rid of that humidity.
Yeah, the humidity is gone, and summer wasn't as stable as it usually is. It wasn't
Yeah.
stable because you didn't know what you were going to get all summer long. You know, one day you get sunshine, and the next day you get rain, and the next day it's flooded. You know, it wasn't as stable. So summer wasn't really that great this year. Although I was glad to see it, but it wasn't the summer that I knew. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mickey Jones is watching us on Instagram. He's saying hi to you. Of course, you can't see him because you're just. But he's out there.
Hey, Mickey, how you doing?
Hi to
My
Mickey.
brother from another mother, or another father. Well,
That's his phrase.
well, they say it in many ways.
Yeah.
My brother from another.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
But he's out there, and he doesn't live too far from you. He's out in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Yes.
What are you about 2 hours away? 2 hours.
Yeah, just about 2 hours away. Yeah, he's out. He was my former neighbor back in Brooklyn, and we lived in the same building. And he moved down here before I did. I follow right behind him. I'm on the other side of North Carolina, but we speak quite often. I gotta get with him. I gotta have to talk with him too about some things too as well.
Mickey is our go-to guy when events come around. He's our go-to guy. Anything that you want to know what's happening out in Brooklyn and Williamsburg, he's our go-to guy.
That's right.
If whose birthday it is, or who's no longer with us, or he's a go-to guy.
And it is true what he says, and I follow him too.
Yeah.
He may live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it's the Brooklyn way that we never forget where we came from, especially in the WB projects.
That's right. I am so proud to be a Brooklyn boy.
Brooklyn boy. Yep.
You know how many great people came from Brooklyn? Great people came from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. You know.
Did school open over there in Charlotte yet?
They opened up on Monday, this past Monday.
Oh, okay.
And it was a heck of a time. Can't get into details, but it's a challenge. It's a challenging time with these young kids and everything. And you know, we got to keep our children in prayer, because what I went through on Monday.
Wow.
I'm glad. Put it like this: I'm glad I live in North Carolina. I don't think I would have probably got fired if I was in Brooklyn.
Oh.
You know. Yeah. So you know, as you get older, you mature.
Yeah.
But it's crazy right now. You know how the school system is really going through a lot.
Wow. Yeah. So we get to see you tomorrow, or how's that? I mean, now the schedule is changing. We're gonna have to stay on top of what you're going.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mailed in the stuff already. I emailed you the stuff. I won't be in, definitely not tomorrow. I'll be able to tune in, but I won't be able to report for the next 2 Fridays because of my schedule. I got a special assignment where I'm needed in certain areas of the school. You know, when you deal with handicaps, autism children, it's a challenge, and so you gotta stay alert.
Absolutely.
Stay alert.
Absolutely. All right, but we'll see you back here next week, though. That's for sure.
I'll be here next Thursday. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll talk to you then. Have a great one.
Right. Everybody have a great evening. Mickey, my brother, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Take care. Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Because the schedule is rechanging, the kids are back in school, so he has to be on top of all of that. He won't be here tomorrow, but we'll take care of all of the sports news that he has for us. He's good about doing that. We'll take care of all of that. If you're just watching, you're just tuning in, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I'm Frank Allan. I'm going to be with you for the balance of the show up until the top of the hour. And speaking of changing in schedules, you know, let me tell you what I found out today. Now, you know, of course, we talked about the coffee hour, because that's where we're going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. And that's our other show, our morning show for Friday, which is older than this show that we're doing here, because the coffee hour was the very first show that we did here. And those of you who've been around with us for a long time know when we started the coffee hour, we didn't do it like in a house, in a closed circuit, in a place, in a studio like we're doing. We did it outdoors, if you remember that. We did it outdoors, right? Remember that? And it was only for a half hour. The show was only for a half hour. And in the summertime, we did it in front of this place called Cafe Central, right? They had tables and chairs, and we found the spot there. People would walk by, they would see us, they would wave, they would talk to us while we're on the air live. And we did that. And in the wintertime, we did the show on the inside at a place right across the street from Cafe Central called Urban Space. Now, Cafe Central no longer exists. The foundation is still there. They're getting ready to open up another place whenever that's going to happen. If it's going to happen, I don't know, but it looks like they're setting up things, tables and chairs and things like that, getting ready for it. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll let you know, and maybe we'll do something from there again. I don't know when that's going to happen. As far as Urban Space is still around. Urban Space, we did also in the wintertime. So we were indoors in Urban Space, but we did the show at that particular time when we didn't have a lot of involvement in the show. There's a lot of involvement in the show now because now we're using Zoom and using a lot of other things, and we're just doing a lot of other things right now. And so we couldn't do a broadcast from there anymore because they didn't have any Wi-Fi, but what I found out today, that Urban Space now provides free Wi-Fi. All right. Now, 2 weeks ago, two Fridays ago, we did a live broadcast directly from Grand Central, the lower level at Grand Central Station and the dining concourse. And because they have free Wi-Fi, so we were able to do that. So everything was okay in that department. When I found out today that now that Urban Space has Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, that means we could do the show from there instead of Grand Central. Now we're not going to do anything live from Grand Central tomorrow or Urban Space. We're not going to do anything live. We're going to wait until the following week. So we're going to do the show from the studio tomorrow morning. And then the following week, we go. But if everything is okay, that will give us time too to find out or check, double check, and triple check the Wi-Fi in Urban Space. And if everything pans out, it looks good, we're going to be broadcasting from there from now on. And I'm really excited about it because Urban Space is a very relaxing place, more so than Grand Central, because Urban Space is like indoors. But it's not as public as Grand Central because everybody's in and out of Grand Central, and it's not as public because people, they go in there, they have a lot of concession stands in that one place. It's one big place, but they have a lot of concession stands. And I did notice that they were making a lot of changes. They closed out some concession stands and they're going to reopen some new ones. And so I guess with the changes that they're going through right now, I guess one of the changes is providing Wi-Fi. And so, as I said, next week, except for Monday, of course, because Monday is a legal holiday, but for the rest of the week, we're going to be checking, double checking, triple checking it. And by the time Friday comes around, if it looks good, that's what we're going to do. If not, then we're going to hustle over to Grand Central. So we got it all figured out. But I am so excited about it. I haven't heard... we haven't done that show from Urban Space in a long time, and we're going to keep you abreast on whether or not they're going to open up another restaurant where the other restaurant used to be Cafe Central. We'll keep you informed of that. Now, also, Urban Space also has an outdoor thing. They have tables and chairs on the outdoors. Now, we're going to, during the week, we're going to find out if that Wi-Fi leaks outside, if you use that Wi-Fi outside as well as indoors. And that would be good to know, but we'll let you all know all about that. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, we're going to be with you to the bottom of the hour. And it's that time right now, so let's get it going right now. On this day in history, in 1953, KRBC TV, Channel 9 in Abilene, Texas. It's an NBC station. They began broadcasting that time. On this day in history, 1962, Trinidad and Tobago gained independence from Britain with Eric Williams at the first. He was his activity was the first prime minister at the time. Back in 1965, U.S. Congress establishes Department of Housing and Urban Development. Back in 1968, Private Eye magazine reports a John Lennon and Yoko Ono album will be a picture of them both in the nude, on the nude cover. Remember that one? On this day in history, in 1978, Emily and William Harris plead guilty to a 1974 kidnapping of an American publisher heiress, Patty Hearst. In 1987, Michael Jackson's Bad video premieres doing a TV special called Michael Jackson, The Magic Returns on CBS. In 1994, the Provision Irish Republican Army declares a ceasefire in Northern Ireland. In 1997, Princess Diana dies in a car crash in a road tunnel in Paris. In 1999, Fly, the fifth studio album by the Dixie Chicks, who are known now as the Chicks, is released, and they win the Grammy Award Best Country Album in the year 2000, also the Billboard Album of the Year in 2000. In 2005, at the 62nd Venice or Venus, however you want to pronounce it, depending on where you're from, that's the film festival, Brokeback Mountain wins the Golden Lion Award. In 2006, the 23rd MTV Video Music Awards, Panic at the Disco, goes to Kelly Clarkson and James Blunt. Actor, the legendary Frederick March, was born on this day in 1897. And he was born in Racine, Wisconsin. He died April 14th, 1975 at the age of 77 years old from prostate cancer. Radio and TV host Arthur Godfrey died on this day was born on this day in 1903 in New York City, and he died March 16th in 1983 at the age of 79 years old. In 1924, comedian Buddy Hackett was born in Brooklyn, New York on this day, and he died at the year 2003. In 1928, actor James Corbin was born in Laurel, Nebraska, and he died 2002. In 1945, rock vocalist and guitar Bob Welch, formerly of Fleetwood Mac, was born in Hollywood, California. He died 2012. And actor Richard Gere was born on this day in 1949, and he was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 74 years old today. In 1953, Marcia Clark, LADA for the O.J. Simpson trial. Remember that? She was born in Berkeley, California. She's 70 years old today. What a lovely woman she was. Not was, but is, because she's still alive. I've met her a couple of times. In 1970, pop singer Debbie Gibson was born in Brooklyn, New York. She's 53 years old today. In 1971, comedian actor Chris Tucker was born in Atlanta, Georgia. He's 72 years old today. In 1937, actress Tallulah Bankhead weds actor John Elmery. And they got married at her father's home in Jasper, Alabama, and they got divorced in 1941. In 1940, actor Laurence Olivier weds actress Vivian Lee. In 1952, operatic soprano Leontine Price weds bass baritone singer William Warfield. They got divorced in 1973. In 1991, Jan and Dean surf pop vocalist Jan Berry weds Gertie Philippe on stage at a concert at the Stardust Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. And his singing partner, Dean Torres, act as the best man at that wedding. In 2013, actress Kate Bosworth weds director Michael Polish in Phillipsburg, Montana. In 2014, the year 2014, Model and TV host Jenny McCarthy weds singer and actor Donnie Wahlberg in St. Charles, Illinois. And let's see, 2014, singer and songwriter Ashley Simpson, the singer and the actress. She's also the sister of the other Jessica Simpson, right? She wed Evan Ross in Greenwich, Connecticut. In 2019, the year 2019, pop singer Ellie Goga weds art dealer Casper Joplin at York Minster in York, England. And boxer Rocky Marciano died on this day in 1969 at the age of 45 years old. He died in a plane accident, and he was born September 1st. That would have been tomorrow, and that would have been his birthday. And he was born in 1923, and his birthplace was Brockton, Massachusetts. And at the year 2002, jazz vibraphonist Lionel Hampton dies at the age of 94 years old. He died from congestive heart failure. And last but not least, TV host David Frost died on this day in 2013 at the age of 74 years old from a heart attack. And he was born April 7th, 1939, and he was born in Tenterton, Kent, England. And so those are the days of this was born in history, what happened on this day in history. If you happen to know anything that happened on this day in history, please let us know. You can do that right now. And all you have to do is just type it in. I will see it right there. And I will, of course, let everyone know as well what happened on this day in history. So thank you guys for being kind and gentle with us, for being with us. And again, I want to apologize to each and every one of you who tuned into the show early, and we had a long stretch of no sound. And I take full responsibility for that. The mic was muted, didn't know it, and I'm not blaming anyone but me, the producers or anyone, just me. It was me. So it's always good to take full responsibility of what you do. And so no one can accuse me of being a coward. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being along with us once again. And those of you, by the way, please, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do that right now by either emailing me or giving me a telephone call. We would do that because a lot of you people like to just sit back and relax and watch the show and not get involved in conversation. That's okay too. So if you'd like to get in touch with me, all you have to do is, I'll give you the email address first. How's that? Email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call 641-715-3900 extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900 extension 467134. So if you want to get in touch with us, if you have anything to say about the show, you want to know more about the show, if you have any ideas, you'd like to see us inject into the show, listen, we're all ears. We listen. So all you have to do is just get in contact. Be proactive, okay? Get in contact with us at any time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The email address, once again, is frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Again, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. You guys already know who he is, right? Well, I won't be saying that name anymore. It's going to be the thing of the past. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. We're not going to use that name anymore because now he has a new name. And I think no matter what I say or how many times I say 345/6666, beast incarnate, this new name is going to override everything. From now on, he's inmate number P01135809. Inmate number, let's see, he's the inmate now. P01135809. Everybody knows it by heart now. Everybody, I talked to everybody, they know by heart. Now, he got that, of course, you already know, last week. He was indicted once again. And what's new, and I'm pretty sure more is about to come. So when he came in this time, he had his mugshot, fingerprints, and they gave him a number. Now, the other ones that checked in, I don't know if they got a number or not. If they did, they didn't publicize it. For some reason, they publicized his number. So now that's who he is. He's inmate P01135809. 345/666 beast incarnate. Okay, all right, no more. I will say it, no more. That's it. No more. 345. It's going to take a little. Hey, listen, I may slip and say it again, but it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little time for this new transition. But I kind of like this new one. Inmate P01135809. Anyway, he's an inmate now. Well, you know what? The way I see it is that it may be a possibility that he will be an inmate, because why would they give him a number like that? Because that's the number he's going to be wearing on that orange jumpsuit. That's the number he's going to be wearing. So get used to that number. Mostly everyone I know right now knows that number by heart. Knows it all by heart and knew it the first day it came out. So anyway, he's got his mugshot. And of course, you know, he's going to try to, well, he's doing it. Actually, he's making money off of that mugshot because, you know, he's selling T-shirts, coffee mugs, coffee coolers, tattoos, anything that you could name. He's capitalizing off of it. And he wants to make that, you know, I guess, generate money to pay his legal fees, or maybe put it in his pocket. You know, if you're a billionaire, I don't know why you would want to do that anyway. Anyway, also the news that we also learned is that he entered a guilty plea. He's entering not guilty to the 13 charges in the Georgia election interference. And on top of that, he's also waiving his right to show up for the arraignment next week. Next Wednesday is the arraignment. So he's waiving his right on that. And in the meantime, he's still using that fundraiser. And I thought to myself, well, who would want to buy anything like that? But wait a minute. At the same time, there are a lot of people who will buy them. You know what they always say, there's a sucker born every day. And I don't tell people what to do with their money. They do anything with your money, you know. So what? You want to support a guy, you want to take your hard-earned money that you worked for years and years and years, and you want to give it to the guy. If you want to take your children's college fund money out of their trust fund and give it to them, that's fine. You know, if that little nest egg you've been saving for years for you and your wife, you and your spouse, you and your partner, or whatever, you know, you want to take that money? People do what they want with their money. That's the purpose of money, is to spend it and spend it your way. But my money is staying in my pockets. There will be no T-shirts. There will be no coffee mugs, nothing like that. And try to send it my way and see how many coffee mugs are going to be broken. Anyway, so that's it. And then also we talked about if you had a chance to see it, I didn't mention it too much last week, because we were on to a lot of important things last week on the show. But a lot of you, I'm pretty sure, seen the debate, and some people probably didn't want to see the debate because they knew it was coming, and they were right. You know, there was nothing spectacular. And then I think the only person that played the mother hen to me, you know, was Nikki Haley. She played the mother hen to the boys who want to cut up, the little boys who want to cut up. And there were a lot of cut ups. They were cutting up on the stage. And you had Vic Ramaswamy. He's the new guy, the new kid on the block, who was also running. You know, he was on the debate stage too. And you know, he had a lot to say. But you know, with all of that, the big question that was posed to all of them was, knowing the situation of inmate P01135809, knowing his situation and knowing how many times he's been indicted, would you support him anyway? Everyone raised their hand except two people. And the two people that didn't raise their hand was Ramaswamy. He didn't raise his hand, and Chris Christie. Those are the two. No, Ramaswamy raised his hand. Asa Hutchinson, I'm sorry, Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie. Those are the two that didn't raise their hand. And Asa Hutchinson, I had my eye on him because before they went on with the debates, he was done in another interview. He was asked the same question, but he wouldn't answer the question. But he raised his hand in support, not to vote for him again, not to support him. But sometimes in a situation, people tend to revert, change their mind again. You do one thing, then you change your mind, and you go back and you change your mind again. You never know. You got to keep your eyes open. So that's citing it much out of that debate. Didn't get much out of it. It wasn't a lot to get out of it. And of course, you know, the big news too, also in the mix of all the news, former Proud Boy and the Proud Boy member, Joe Briggs, was sentenced to 17 years. Originally, he was requested 33 years imprisonment, and that all came down Thursday. There was a 30-year call for a request for Zachary Real. And his sentence came down today. He's getting 15 years. And 3 more are going to be indicted. 3 more are going to be sentenced on Friday and Tuesday. We forget Monday. Monday's a holiday, but Friday and Tuesday, either Friday, tomorrow for some of us, and Tuesday after the long holiday weekend. The other 3 are going to be sentenced. And we'll see what happens with that. Okay, quickly, I want to talk about those movies, the Turner Classic Movies. I have some for you. I want to do them right quick. We have movies that I always display for you and let you know what you can watch if you so inclined to watch over the weekend, catch up on your movies. So let's get started right away. I have Blackboard Jungle from 1955, Glenn Ford, Anne Francis, and Sidney Poitier. That's on Turner Classic Movies on Saturdays at 4:15 a.m. Eastern. Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean, Sal Mineo, and Natalie Wood. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's back in 1955. You can see that at 6 a.m. Eastern. The Big Sleep from 1946, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And you have Our Miss Brooks, a comedy from 1956. Eve Arden and Gail Gordon, that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You have Where the Boys Are from 1960 with George Hamilton and Yvette Mininex. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on Sunday at 3:45 p.m. And finally, A Summer Place from 1959, Sandra Dee and Troy Donahue. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that out on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to watch all of these movies. They're great movies, and I think you're going to like them. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for me. I will be back here tomorrow morning for the coffee hour. Brian Kemp won't be here, but we will fill in for him with the sports. And of course, I hope that you will be here too. And we'll have coffee and the whole 9 yards. Other than that, meet me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp, of course, will be here with sports. And of course, we look forward to seeing you too. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day, a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a wonderful night. Take care of yourself.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.